Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video with Life is Chelsea for Beyond the Gates, May 22nd, 2025. Okay, so first things first, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. It was an okay episode, y'all. I think the highlight is finally somebody got some doggone cameras. So it was revealed that the hospital has cameras, so they finna get ready to check them out. But my thing though is, are they going to be able to see her face? Because she could easily put that wig up in Eva hotel. Eva don't sit up here and turn her back. I said, Eva gonna have to wake up. She gonna have to wake up at this point because she finna get ready to get framed. She gonna get them boots and she gonna get that doggone wig because once they see the camera, they gonna look for the wig. They gonna look for the wig. I said, some type of way, they probably not gonna show her face, but I don't know, y'all. Maybe they finally gonna see. But yeah, on today's episode, we're gonna start with Mona and Dana. So she done brought her a donut. I said, what kind of donut was that? I was trying to figure it out. But yeah, she done brought her donut or whatever, trying to smooth things over here. Still talking about Nicole and Ted. But Mona was basically telling her, like, I could understand in regards to Ted. But Nicole, she didn't do nothing. She didn't do nothing. She did not do anything. She didn't even know about you. But she's still over here coming for her stuff. I said, once again, what I tell y'all? I said, Dana's whole thing is that she waiting on Ted to come back to her. And she gonna do everything in her power to make that happen. But yeah, she was just talking to Mona about everything that happened, trying to smooth things over or whatever. Then she started getting mad when Mona was defending Nicole and everything. But yeah, she was trying to get her to see that Nicole didn't have anything to do with it, but she wasn't trying to hear that. She said then she had the audacity, Dana had the audacity to say the minute that things went wrong, Nicole walked away. I said, what you thought she was gonna stay? I said, why would I mean, technically, I feel like she is gonna return to him though. But yeah, she's talking about the minute things went wrong, Nicole walked away when her marriage wasn't so perfect and all this other stuff. Oh, girl, please. I said, she the type that sit up here and blame. She the type to sit up here. How do I say it? You know how people will blame everybody except the person that did them wrong or hurt them or whatever? Yeah. She did all this talk. She did all this talk to my son. She wanted to make Ted pay only to try to get back with him. She don't sit up here and snuck up in the doggone hotel room and everything. But yeah, that's all that happened with Mona and Dana. Nicole, Andre, Ted. I think first Nicole was talking. She ends up running into Andre. Shanice back there. I said, she's so nosy. I said, I knew her nose until remembered about the nurse. But yeah, she just back there watching and stuff. But yeah, Nicole ends up hugging Andre and they was talking to him. Next thing you know, here come Ted. Next thing you know, here he come. He ends up trying to talk to her, but she did not want to talk to him. I think she said she wasn't ready to have that conversation. Then Kat ends up showing up. But when Kat ended up showing up, she had something to tell them. She said she had something really important to tell them. So she went to the office with them. She ends up playing the audio where Dana is saying that Eva, or implying that Eva was the one that ran Laura off the road. I said, if she was the one that ran Laura off the road, how would she know all of the, if Eva was the one to run off the road, how would she know all these details? Come on now. So then as soon as she got done playing it, Nicole was like, she said something about Eva being the one to do it, and Ted was defending her. He ends up defending her. He was like, how can you believe anything that Dana says? I know Dana. I know it. If anybody capable of it, it's Dana. I said, right. I said, that's right. Defend your daughter. That's right. Defend your daughter, because Kat is obsessed at this point. I said, let it go, girl, before you get hurt. You over here still, she's still playing Inspector Gadget, y'all. Nicole and Ted both told her to stop, and she's still doing it. But I was like, even after Jacob came and said that Eva had an alibi or whatever, and he already contacted them. He already seen the video footage and stuff that shows she was there at the time that Laura was ran off the road. She still talking about Eva did it or whatever. I can't believe Eva and Leslie finna get away with this again. I said, girl, okay, you gonna need saving. I always say that though. I said, somebody needs saving. But yeah, she's still blaming Eva. But Nicole was telling Kat to let it go. It's not her job to protect the family or look into it and stuff. But it is Ted. She ends up telling him that he need to do something to protect his family or whatever. But yeah, also, I don't know, I forgot what Ted said. Ted said something, and Nicole was mad. She was like, you still talking to her? He was like, about Eva. I said, but you wrong, because you ain't even got to go to her. You didn't have to go to her to ask about plans and stuff like that. I said, you did not have to do that. They be over here acting like, I said, if it was a child or something like that, then yeah, you got no choice. But that wasn't no child. Eva is not a child. You don't got to go through her, especially since didn't she know? No, was that before or after he found out that she had kicked her out? I think she had already kicked her out, right? Because he had told her that he was gonna get her a hotel room and everything. So I'm like, what excuse did you need to go sit up there, or why did you need an excuse to go see this crazy lady? What else? I think we're gonna have to come back to Nicole and them. I think it was something else. I think she brought Jacob there. Yeah, we gonna finish. She brought Jacob there, and that's when he said Eva alibi checked out or whatever, and he was like he knew it. He knew she wasn't the one who did it or whatever. So it's Dana. So I think he ends up telling them he gonna go talk to Eva to see if she know anything or see if she more comfortable telling him something. I said if she ends up telling that her mama confessed that she was the one who did it, she finna frame her. I still feel like she's trying to frame her anyways. And that's another thing. Kat said something about she think that Leslie knew that Eva already had an alibi, and that's why she decided to point the finger at her or whatever. Derek and Jacob. So with them, Jacob came over to Ashley and Derek's place. Well, now just Ashley's place or whatever. And he found Derek packing his stuff, and he was just getting the rest of his things. So Jacob was just trying to encourage him. He was saying how he doesn't want to say the wrong thing to her and stuff like that. Then he started talking about he wanted to marry Ashley and have kids with her and stuff like that. And Jacob was making it seem like it was all Derek's fault or whatever. I said, no, he should have stuck to his first mind. He definitely should have, what's his name? Andre back there mad when he seen them kissing and stuff. Came in. I said he felt some type of way. I said, you said you wanted them back together. You didn't want them to break up. Ain't that what you said? But yeah, he was just standing back there. I said, first he looked like he was smiling, but that smile changed. That smile definitely turned. But yeah, Derek was just telling Jacob all about wanting to marry Ashley and have a family with her and stuff like that. So he was just telling him, like, when's the last time you took her out on a date? And just making him see that he was being a slob. He was being inconsiderate and stuff like that. But yeah, Ashley was talking to Andre, ends up saying that Derek didn't return her call, and she was worried that they was gonna break up and stuff like that. And he was just encouraging her not to give up or whatever. Then they showed, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, because they was at the hospital. I was trying to remember. I was like, I don't remember. They wasn't at the place because Derek and Jacob was at the place. I was trying to remember where they was at. They was at the hospital. They was at the hospital. He was checking on her, seeing if everything was okay. That's when she revealed that, he hadn't returned her call or whatever. What else? I already said that Jacob was encouraging Derek. Let me see what else happened, y'all. Let me flip my notes. Jacob... Oh, that's about the other thing. Jacob was finna look at the camera footage. We already talked about that. I think that's it with Derek now. At the end of the episode, that's when they met up and they finally had a conversation about everything, about, what happened or whatever, and that they both agreed that they didn't want to break up. Excuse me. They both agreed that they didn't want to break up, and that's when they kissed. They ended up kissing, and that's when Andre walked in. And at first, he looked like he was happy and excited, but then it changed. It changed, but we already knew this from day one, that he had feelings for her and she got feelings for him. So that's why I was like, Derek had the right idea. What else? Who else we got? Because we got to get to this. Yeah, here we go. Tracy, Vernon, Anita. First it was just Tracy and Vernon. He was on the phone with somebody. He was like, I told you to go through my work number. Some type of way he put it. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, I know doggone well he ain't got no secret too. I said, everybody on the show line. I told y'all. Well, I tell y'all. That first review I did, I said, I bet everybody got secrets. And look at here. But yeah, I don't know what his secret is. But yeah, he was like, I thought I told you or he was questioning why they didn't contact him through the work line. Meanwhile, Tracy over here watching and listening and stuff. I was like, she do too much. She do too much for somebody else's man or whatever. And Anita told her something about, you don't go after your sister's man. I said, too little, too late. But I said, I don't know if they actually gonna touch on that or give us more background information. I know that Tracy, if I'm not mistaken, either her or Anita, obviously, one of them said something about, yeah, it had to be Tracy. Didn't she say that back in the day when Vernon walked back there, something about he could have had any one of them, but he chose Anita? Some type of way she said that. And she said Sharon was mad, but don't look like she's the only one. Definitely don't look like she's the only one that's mad. She do too much already. I don't know now. We gotta wait and see. But yeah, I think he said he had to go or something like that. And I don't know if he said be here when I get back, or she told him she not gonna leave till she see. Some type of way she put it. And I was like, she doing too much. I said, she doing too much. Anita gonna have to watch her. She gonna have to watch her. But yeah, Vernon ends up leaving. That's when Anita and Tracy end up talking. And she said something about, look, I don't forget. And I just watched the episode. I said that a lot, don't I? But yeah, she was like, she's waiting on the person responsible for their gathering or whatever. And it cut off. But it was Naomi. All they was talking about was the fact that Naomi was a fan and stuff like that, and she ends up mentioning how she performed. And that's when Anita seen the opportunity to say that it was a producer or somebody in the crowd. They was talking about that, and Tracy felt some type of way because she was like, why would you wait till your daughter's right there to bring this up or whatever. So she just smooth things over. She ends up saying she feels like this concert. Hold on, let me find it, y'all. Let me make sure. Let's see. Anita tells Tracy she see the concert as a way to make up for leaving the group and everything else that happened. I was like, what happened? What else happened? But yeah, it gotta be something. But yeah, they said the lady that's playing Tracy, she's a singer, y'all, a real singer. But yeah, I haven't heard who gonna play Sharon yet, but we'll see. Like I said, she said she don't know. She said her is one thing, but Sharon is a completely different thing. So we'll see how that plays out. Who else we got, y'all? Anita, Tracy, Naomi, we talked about them. Ashley, Andre, we talked about them, how he was just supporting her. Dana, Eva, she stopped by, whatever. She told my son, what she said? Tell my son, I didn't want to see you in jail. You a freaking story. I said, you still probably gonna try to set her up. She told my son, I didn't want to see you in jail or whatever. I was like, girl, Eva gonna have to wake up. She definitely gonna have to wake up to see who she dealing with. Cause I know a lot of people feel like if they had that title, then they deserve it or whatever. But just cause you got the title, don't mean you deserve the title. So in this case, Leslie Dana, wig lady, got the title of mama, but she ain't been no doggone mama, a good one anyways. So I was like, Eva gonna have to wake up. She don't sit up here. She had enough sense not to let her stay in the hotel room, but then again, she turned her back. She turned her back to her, and that's when she snuck and put the doggone card or whatever in there. And she snuck back in. She over here taking all this stuff. I said, you know, doggone well they gonna notice that all this stuff go. She done stole the robe. She done stole, I don't know if there was hair care products or what. What else happened? At the end of the episode, you know, Ted's supposed to be coming to talk to Eva, and that's when she gonna open the door, whatever. Time I said, what took you so long and stuff. I was like, girl, get out the way. I said, get out the way, girl. What else happened? Let me see. Jacob, June, Nicole. Jacob wanted Nicole to talk to June, but she over here, she didn't fall for it. First, she was like, her name is Jessica or whatever, and she started talking about the past, but it wasn't her past. It was from a show. I think it was called, what did they say it was? As the World Turned? Didn't they say one of them people played on As the World Turned? Yeah, I think they did say one of the people played. But I just seen Anita, the lady that plays Anita, on a clip on TikTok from, what's it called? SVU, Law and Order. Yeah, I just seen her. I don't know if I mentioned that Dana revealed or implied that she was waiting on Ted or hoping that her and Ted rekindle things. And that's when Eva told her that he's not coming back to her. I said, I don't know now. I don't know. We just gotta wait and see. Kat and Shanice, she ends up questioning Shanice about the night that Laura got poisoned and stuff like that. And that's when she revealed it was a nurse or whatever. And she asked her questions and she over here gave her some load of baloney or whatever. But yeah, he about to check excuse me. He's about to check the camera, so he gonna see. I just want to know if he gonna see her actual face. Is he going to see her actual face, or is he just gonna see the wig? We'll see though. But yeah, what else? I think that was it. I already said that Ted showed up or whatever, and that's when Dana talking about what took you so long. But yeah, let me make sure. Let me scan my notes, y'all. Nicole tells Ted to do something to stop Dana. Jacob finna look at cameras. I said Kat not backing down. We already talked about that. I already said June gave Jacob. Oh, Jacob said something about June gave a false name, revealed to Nicole that she was carrying around this photo with kids in there, but she doesn't remember who the kids are. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, have a great rest of the day and be safe.